What's up, guys? James with That's Right Lawn Care. I hope y'all all had an awesome Monday. Mine is just now getting started. Wanted to go ahead and say the fuel pandemic is just about over here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Seems like every gas station right now at least has 87, 89, 91, 93 octane. They all have diesel. The only thing I cannot find for the life of me is 100% no ethanol. And of course, that is what I run in my mowers and in my mixed fuel. So what do you do? Well, it's not gonna hurt it to throw, well, I don't think it's gonna hurt to throw 93 octane in for, you know, a couple of gallons or something like that. These are obnoxious, aren't they? I love them. So I don't think it's gonna hurt to run 93 octane, a couple of gallons through it. Of course, I went and filled everything up last night, and I had a really good maintenance Sunday. Stayed pretty busy. I had cut off shirt on, and I ended up catching a lot of sun, so my arms are kind of, ow. I got a little sun yesterday, but this side of me hardly ever sees sun. This side of me never sees sun. So yesterday I ended up going to Lowe's and grabbing a one of them orbit timers for my sprinkler system for my yard. So it's starting to get up there in the heat, and we need to start getting some water. We're not supposed to be getting any rain this week, which is a good thing because I've got a ton of work and I'm by myself again. Nobody's over here. Empty bag of Sonic. Their breakfast burritos are good. But we'll get to that here in a little while. So also yesterday, maintenance Sunday. It's a big maintenance Sunday. So I got the sprinkler, the timer, did the oil change on the 52 and the 61, cleaned all three decks, greased all three mowers, and got sharp blades on all three mowers, washed them all. Also, the passenger side of the trailer, changed those shackle straps out, and if you'd seen on Instagram how bad those were, I was probably a bump or two away from losing another strap. I'm glad I ended up changing those out yesterday. Pulled the tire off of the wife's car and removed a screw and plugged it, and it's good to go. Washed everything up, I already said that, blah, blah, blah. So it ended up being a pretty good maintenance Sunday yesterday. I got a lot of stuff done. I felt accomplished. I've got 8 yards on the list for today. This is my short Monday. Next Monday's my double Monday, so I got 16 yards next Monday. But we're going to talk about, you know, what you need to do if you've got an employee, and if you've got to where your two guys are spending 40 hours plus a week out, and you go from having help to not having help. What do you have to do? What do you need to do? What's something you need to focus on to make sure that you're able to take care of everything, especially if you're not going to be hiring for, you know, a little while, if you're going to try and, you know, make it on your own for a little while. What's a couple of things that you need to do and look out for and, you know, make sure of. But guys, I just pulled up at this one. This is a bi-weekly. They got some clover coming up. Hasn't really grown too much that I can tell right now anyways, but let's get out and take a look. Well, that pile of sticks has been there for a month and a half now. Maybe they'll get it soon, and then it'll be an overgrown part of the yard right there. But yeah, this hasn't really grown it too much, so this will be a easy cut. It's always been a pretty easy cut. It always turns out pretty good. I kind of wish this tree wasn't here, and those two trees, and that tree, and that tree, and that tree, and that tree, and it was just a straight cut through the yard. But it usually ends up striping out pretty good. I'll probably set y'all right over here on the cone so we can try and get some stripes out of this yard. So the 61 inch just hit, well, we're right at 100 hours on it. I think it's 98, something like that. The 52 inch is about to roll 700. So in the next 50 hours on this one, we're going to be doing the hydro fluid change. We're going to, of course, be doing the oil change, the spark plugs, fuel filter, air filter. This thing is getting a much needed tune-up. And we're also going to do the drive belt. So that's something I've heard it's recommended to do every 250 hours or something like that. I've never done it. And I got about 700 hours on it right now. So we're going to be changing that out. It's probably due for it. But this is going to be getting a much needed makeover. I'm going to get some super clean. We're gonna shine this puppy up. So Skaggly's going to be looking nice. It definitely needs some super clean on here. Now, one thing I can say about the grass flaps is unless you have it to where it completely flushes around with the deck, you got a little spit out coming out the back right here, and it ends up getting this tire and wheel completely nasty. But that's okay, it's only cosmetic. It still works really well. And I've noticed that this one doesn't do it as bad on the 36 inch. But as we walk back here and check out the 61, and of course this has a lot more use on it than the 36. 36 only got about 15 hours on it. But as you can see, this one's closed. You got a little gap here, so some of that excess grass comes out, which is good because that means you still got some air flowing through. You're still creating vacuum. You know, that's really what you need. That's why I didn't close this up all the way, because if you close that up all the way, you're not going to get a lot of suction and you're not going to get a good cut quality. So anyways, you can see how it kind of dirties it up right here. Guys, I'm going to jump on this yard and get to it. It is Monday. I'm just happy to be out working. Catch y'all here in a few. Let's mow some grass. Woo! Woo! And she's done. Woo, that was easy. It's a pretty easy yard. Like I said, except for those couple of trees, after you trim around the whole entire house and property, you just go back and hit these 4 little spots. It's pretty straightforward on that one. But before we get off to the next one, guys, what I want to talk about was going from a 2-man operation to a 1-man operation. Some things you really need to watch out for and make sure that you figure this out like a science is your route density. So I've actually had a lot of new customers come through this spring, and I've been truly blessed to be able to take on these yards, and that's because I had a little bit of help. Now that I'm by myself again for who knows how long, there's a couple of people I've been chatting with and stuff like that, and you know, but nothing's set in stone or anything, so I don't know. It's not going to be tomorrow, which I wish it was tomorrow because I got a lot of yards to cut tomorrow, and a lot of driving to do. And now that I'm not having any help with these yards, I got to figure out how to get them done quicker, how to get all these yards cut quickly, finished up, and still the quality that my customers expect out of me. So the first thing you need to look out for is route density. Route density is key to getting all these yards cut in a timely manner. And the only thing that's bad about it during the summer is, you know, you'll be in the truck for 2 minutes and then you'll be at your next yard. You weren't able to cool off a lot and you're just gonna be hot. But that's fine. Like I said in previous videos, I've been a welder and I've done lawn care since I was 14 off and on, so you know, I'm used to the heat. You know, I like this weather. It's only 64 degrees outside right now. So having all your yards put in one area, I know everybody is going to be different, you know, what part of the country you live in, how you might have to drive city to city, and they might be, you know, far away before you get to that city or whatever. But pick a day, pick a city, you know. That's almost what it ends up being. And of course, mine is not anywhere near that. Probably got 50 something yards in the city that I live in, and then another however many scattered out. I need to count up my yards again. I don't know how many I've got. I've gained a couple. Well, I've gained a lot, and I've lost a couple. And I've lost due to sales, and then, you know, my son's gonna start cutting it and stuff like that, which I'm fine with, you know. One of them, he actually told me, hey, I just need to get this done a couple of times until my son gets out of school and he's gonna start mowing it again. I said, hey man, that's fine. I'll get you taken care of. So I've actually got to sit down and go over all my routes and stuff like that and key them in a little better. I've got some yards I need to move around and swap weeks and days and stuff like that, just to get to where everything is going to be more condensed in a route and I'm able to get as many yards done in that day as possible. It's really hard to get your route density figured, especially this time of year when you're packing more customers in, and it ends up being to where, well, now you've got 3 yards on Monday that would actually squeeze in well to your Wednesday and shorten your Monday route up. And that way you've got more yards in that one area. I don't know if this is making a lot of sense to y'all. It makes perfect sense in my head. But it's one of those things that's really hard to explain, especially for, you know, I don't know how y'all's areas are. Y'all don't know how my area is, yada, yada, yada. But having route density is a huge factor in being able to get all your yards done. You know, I'm doing close to 90 right now. I could probably take on more. I'd be working, you know, 12-hour days, five days a week, maybe 6 if we end up getting some rain or something like that. So you've always got to take into account for rain too. So that can push you back. It can throw off your schedule a little bit, but you know, it's what we deal with. It's what our outside service industry does, is, you know, we have to deal with the weather. You know, we can't control it. Some of our customers, we have to explain that to. Most of them, for the most part, realize it. Having communication with your customers is always a good thing, letting them know, you know, hey, it rained Monday, we'll catch you tomorrow. And another thing, guys, when it starts getting hot, you need to drink some water. You need to replenish your electrolytes with some Gatorades and Powerades and, you know, whatever you end up drinking and stuff like that. It's probably not a good idea to be drinking Cokes and beers and all that stuff. And definitely don't need to be drinking beers while you're working. I did that one time. That was probably at least 10, 11 years ago, something like, well, no, because I would have had to be 21. I was 19. Anyways, we were all kids once, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get on to the next yard. Alright guys, so we just got done finished cutting the last yard of the day. It's done. We got them all finished up except for one, and this guy has got to be home for me to mow it because his backyard is locked up like Fort Knox for no apparent reason. He's afraid somebody's gonna steal his dogs. And I've seen his dogs. They're not necessarily show dogs. But I guess maybe just because they're full breed, he doesn't want anybody stealing them. So anyways, we'll have to mow him on another day, which will be fine because technically he is like, I could throw a baseball and hit his house just about. He's maybe I can't throw a baseball a mile, but he's probably a mile from my house. So I'll be able to do it Wednesday or something like that. So no big deal. Got all the rest of them done. So now I'm headed out to take a look at a yard that's actually going to fit in today's route. And it's 4:30 if I end up getting it. She called and she said she found me on the internet, which I didn't really understand. Maybe Google, maybe Facebook, maybe YouTube. Anyways, so she ended up finding me and said, she says she usually has a company or some guys do it. That's what she said. That's what she said. She said she usually has some guys do it and she has not been happy with their work. So I'm gonna go out there and give her a price, and if she's good with the price, I'll probably go ahead and mow it today just because it's gonna fit in my schedule. But back to what we were talking about earlier, going back solo, am I gonna be able to keep up with everything? Yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to keep everything cut. As far as mowing customers go, there are some side jobs that I'm just gonna have to squeeze in on Saturdays if I can and knock them out and just try to not take on as much and really just kind of limit myself for the time being. I've got several friends who've offered to help out whenever they get off of work, and that's usually around this time. So it's about 4:30, 5 o'clock, somewhere around there, you know, whenever they get off. But you know, by that time, meeting up with me, it's 5:30 before we get on the next yard. We could probably knock 3 or 4 more yards out, which would really help. But you know, I'm not going to stress over trying to hire somebody new right now, just because hiring is such a headache. Trying to find somebody and stressing over it, and then stressing over whether or not they're going to show up or not. So some of you guys with several employees, props to you. I guess I'll figure it out one day, or maybe if I can just find the right help. There's 3 things that I ask for out of an employee. I call them the 3 R's: reliability, responsibility, and respect. Reliability, be reliable, be able to work. Responsibility, I ain't your daddy. You know how to set an alarm clock. Set an alarm. And be respectful. If you're not gonna be able to make it, call me. That's all I can ask, really. So, anyways, guys, hope y'all all had an awesome Monday, and we'll try and get this one actually uploaded on a Monday. If not, you'll see it whenever. Hope y'all had an awesome Monday. I know mine was pretty good. So, y'all, hey, he's mowing. Everybody's out mowing. Y'all haven't, maybe he wants to quit and work for me. Who knows? Probably not. Anyways, you know, sometimes I think maybe it's not the employees that I hire. Maybe it's not the people that I have work for me. There's grass on the screen. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the fact that, you know, I've given out money and then let them pay me back working. Maybe it's the fact that I've paid beforehand. Maybe it's because I've picked people up when they didn't have rides. Maybe it's because I pay for lunch, breakfast, sometimes dinner. Maybe it's because I'm not strict. I'm pretty relaxed. As long as work's getting done, I'm pretty chill to work for. That's the way I see it anyways. Y'all might not see it that way. The several of you that used to work for me that probably still watch. So anyways, guys, we're gonna end it right here. I hope all of y'all had an awesome Monday. But if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button, shoot me a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Perfect.